In this video, I'm going to show you how to protect yourself from the most common scams that happen in parking lots and grocery stores across America. These scams target seniors more than anyone else because criminals know you carry cash, use cards, and shop alone more often. I've spent years working with older adults, and I've seen how stressful these tricks can be. They don't just take money, they steal your sense of safety. That stress can affect your sleep, your blood pressure, and even your trust in people. But when you know what to look for, and you have the right words and actions ready, you can stop these scammers in their tracks. And before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? Just drop your city or state in the comments below. And if you've ever had a close call with a scam while out shopping, share that too. Your story might help protect someone else in our community. Point 1. The parking lot trap. Let's start with one of the most common dangers, being approached in the parking lot. Think about this. You've just finished shopping, you've walked through the aisles, waited at the checkout, and finally loaded your bags into the car. You're tired, your mind is already at home, and that's the exact moment when someone suddenly walks up to you. The person almost always has a story. It might be a young man saying his car ran out of gas, and he just needs $20 to get home. Or it could be a woman telling you her child is sick and she needs bus fare. These stories sound urgent and emotional, and that's no accident. Scammers know how to pull on your heartstrings because they know our generation was raised to help others. They count on you feeling guilty if you say no. Here's the truth. It's rarely about the money. The amount they ask for is usually small. What they're really after is the pressure they put on your chest, the racing heartbeat, the twisting feeling in your stomach, that little voice saying, "If I walk away, I'll look unkind." They feed on that moment of hesitation. I remember one of my patients, a kind woman named Eleanor. She was 78 and had a heart as big as anyone I've ever met. A man told her he needed money for gas, so she gave him $30. She went home feeling she had done the right thing. But the very next week, the same man approached her again with the same story. That's when her heart sank, not because of the money, but because her kindness had been turned against her. So how do you protect yourself in that moment without feeling cruel? The answer is to prepare a simple, polite line in advance. Just look the person in the eye and say firmly, "I'm sorry. I cannot help you." That's it. No excuses, no long explanations. Then get into your car, lock the doors, and drive away. A real person in need can always ask the store manager or call for help. You are not their only hope. You are simply the easiest target. By using one short phrase, you protect both your safety and your peace of mind. Point 2. The repeat target trap. There's something very important you need to understand about scammers. If they succeed once, they often come back. Why? Because in their minds, kindness is like an open door. Once you've opened that door, they think they can step through it again and again. Think back to Eleanor's story from the parking lot. She gave that man $30 because she wanted to help. But the following week, he came back with the exact same story. For him, it wasn't personal. He didn't even remember her face. For her, though, it was heartbreaking. She realized her good deed had been treated like a business transaction. That betrayal hurt far more than losing the money. This is how many scams work. They aren't about one small moment. They test you. If you give in once, you may be marked as safe to approach again. And sometimes, scammers even share that information with others. That's why one yes can lead to multiple attempts. The emotional toll can be heavy. I've spoken to older adults who say that after just one encounter, they stopped trusting strangers altogether. Some avoided going back to their usual stores because the fear stuck with them. Others told me they couldn't sleep well because they kept replaying the situation in their minds. That kind of stress doesn't just hurt emotionally. It can affect your blood pressure, your sleep, and even your willingness to go about your daily life. So what can you do to stop this cycle? The key is to close the door firmly the first time. A clear no sends a powerful message, not just to the scammer in front of you, but to yourself. It tells them, "I will not be an easy target." And it reminds you, "I am in control." Remember this. Protecting yourself is not about being unkind. It's about being wise. You've spent your whole life giving to your family, your friends, your community. You've earned the right to protect your peace of mind. A scammer's repeat attempt doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means they thought they could exploit your kindness. When you stand firm with a polite but strong refusal, you shut that door for good. Point 3. The distraction trick. Now let's step inside the store, because not all scams happen in the parking lot. Some of the cleverest tricks happen right in the aisles where you feel safe. These scams don't involve someone asking you for money directly. Instead, they rely on something very simple: distraction. Here's how it usually works. You're walking with your cart when suddenly, someone nearby drops a bag of groceries and oranges or apples roll across the floor. Naturally, your first thought is to bend down and help. Or maybe a polite-looking person taps you on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me, could you help me reach that box on the top shelf?" Nothing about this feels suspicious. It feels like a normal, everyday moment of kindness. But while your attention is on the groceries or the shelf, another person is quietly at work. In just a few seconds, they slip their hand into your cart or purse and take your wallet. You might not even notice until you're at the checkout line and realize your money is gone. That's why purse safety is so important. Many people place their purse in the big basket of the cart with the top open. To a thief, that's like leaving the front door of your house wide open. They don't need more than a second to reach in. The good news is you can make a few small changes that protect you almost completely. First, always zip your purse shut completely. Not halfway, not loosely. Second, place it in the child seat area of the cart, not the large basket. Third, use the safety strap on the cart to loop through your purse handle and buckle it. That little step creates a barrier that makes it nearly impossible for someone to grab it without you noticing. An even better option is to carry a crossbody bag. When your purse is strapped across your shoulder and chest, it stays with you at all times, and no one can quietly lift it away. Remember, scammers look for easy opportunities. They don't want a challenge. If your purse is secure, they'll almost always move on to someone else. I often tell my patients, protecting your purse is no different than locking the door at home. You don't do it because you expect trouble. You do it because it's smart, and it lets you live with peace of mind. Point 4. The fake authority scam. Not every scam looks messy or desperate. Some of the most dangerous ones look polished, professional, and official. That's what makes them so tricky. I call this the fake authority scam. It often happens inside the store, right in the middle of your shopping trip, and it catches people off guard because it feels safe. Here's how it works. You're walking down an aisle when a friendly, well-dressed person approaches you. They may be wearing a polo shirt with the store's logo, a name badge, or even carrying a clipboard or tablet. They smile, they're polite, and they seem completely trustworthy. Then they make an offer. It might sound like a special promotion for a store credit card with bonus points, or maybe a deal where if you buy one gift card, you get another free. The offer sounds tempting. Why not save money, right? But here's the truth. Real employees don't stop shoppers in the middle of the aisle to sign them up for deals. These scammers aren't after your money right away. What they really want is your personal information. While chatting casually, they'll ask for your name, your phone number, your address, and sometimes even your social security number. Once they have those details, the danger is far greater than losing a few dollars. That's how identity theft begins. I'll never forget a couple I once met, John and Mary, both in their 70s. A young man approached them in a store with a clipboard. He promised them bonus gift cards if they signed up. They paid him $100 and filled out the form he handed them. Later, they realized the gift cards were worthless. But what hurt them most wasn't the lost money. It was the fear that they had given away all their personal details to a stranger. That fear kept them awake at night for weeks. This scam is powerful because our brains are trained to trust uniforms, badges, and clipboards. But remember, scammers know how to play dress up. Just because someone looks official doesn't mean they are. The best way to protect yourself is with one simple sentence. "Thank you. I'll go to the customer service desk to ask about that." Those words are like a shield. A real employee won't mind. They'll encourage you to go. But a scammer will vanish quickly because they can't risk being exposed. Point 5. The golden rule of store safety. By now, you've seen how scammers use pressure, distraction, and fake authority to trick people. But here's something that can protect you from almost every scam, no matter where it happens. I call it the golden rule of store safety. Official business only happens at official places. What does that mean? It means if the offer or request is real, it will only come from the checkout counter, the customer service desk, or the store's verified website. Nowhere else. Not in the middle of an aisle, not in the parking lot, and not from a stranger with a clipboard. If someone approaches you outside of these official places, it is not legitimate. This one rule can give you a lot of peace of mind. You don't have to second guess whether the offer sounds too good to be true. You don't need to argue, explain, or get into a long conversation. All you need to do is remember that if it's real, it belongs at the service desk. That's it. Here's a simple phrase to keep in your pocket. Thank you. I'll check with customer service. Practice saying it out loud. Say it calmly, with a smile if you want, and then move on. It's polite, but it sets a clear boundary. A real employee will never be bothered by that response. In fact, they'll likely point you in the right direction. But a scammer? They'll disappear quickly because they know you're onto them. I can't tell you how many older adults I've spoken to who said this one sentence changed the way they felt while shopping. Instead of worrying, what if someone tries to trick me? They knew exactly what to say. That knowledge turned fear into confidence. Think about it. When you walk into a store, you lock your car, you carry your purse safely, and you look around for your items. Adding this one golden rule to your routine is just as simple. It takes away the guesswork and keeps you in control. So remember, if it doesn't come from the service desk, the checkout, or the store's official channels, it doesn't deserve your trust. This one small habit can block almost every scam before it even begins. Point 6. Protecting your kindness without losing it. My friends, I want to end with something very close to the heart. We've talked about parking lot tricks, distractions, fake offers, and how to spot them. But the truth is, the hardest part of all this isn't the money. It's what happens inside of you when someone takes advantage of your kindness. Many seniors tell me that after being scammed, the real loss wasn't financial, it was emotional. They felt embarrassed, betrayed, and sometimes even ashamed. Some told me they stopped trusting strangers altogether, and that broke my heart to hear. Here's what I want you to know. Your kindness is not the problem. You are not at fault for caring about others. What went wrong is that you weren't given the right tools to protect that kindness. And once you learn these tools, like having a polite refusal line ready, securing your purse, or remembering the golden rule, you can keep your kind heart without being anyone's target. I think back to Eleanor, the woman I mentioned earlier. At first, she was crushed when she realized her good deed had been turned into a trick. She told me she felt like she couldn't trust herself anymore. But over time, she learned something powerful. She practiced saying, "I'm sorry, I cannot help you," and discovered she could still be polite while protecting herself. She went back to her normal shopping trips, but this time with quiet confidence. She hadn't lost her kindness. She had simply learned to guard it. That's the balance I want for you. Being cautious doesn't mean becoming cold. Protecting yourself doesn't mean shutting the world out. It means honoring the fact that you've worked hard all your life, raised families, built communities, and shown more generosity than most people can imagine. You've earned the right to feel safe and at peace. So, the next time someone tries to pressure you, distract you, or look official, remember this. Your kindness is your gift, but boundaries are your shield. When you put the two together, you can live with both compassion and confidence. You don't have to choose between being kind and being safe. You can be both. And that's the strongest position of all. My friends, we've walked through a lot today. We talked about the parking lot trap, the repeat target scam, distraction tricks, purse safety, fake authority offers, the golden rule of store safety, and finally, how to protect your kindness without losing it. Each of these lessons gives you a tool, something simple you can say or do, that can make the difference between falling into a scam and walking away with peace of mind. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It is not rude. It is wisdom. You've lived long enough, worked hard enough, and given enough to others. You have every right to keep your savings, your health, and your trust in yourself safe. Now, I'd like to ask you for one small thing. In the comments below, share one step you'll start practicing today. Maybe it's securing your purse every time you shop. Maybe it's practicing your polite but firm, "I'm sorry, I cannot help you." Or maybe it's remembering the golden rule, official business only at customer service. Whatever it is, write it down. Not only will it help you remember, but your words may inspire someone else in our community to stay strong too. And if you found these tips helpful, please give this video a like. That little click makes a big difference. It shows me you want more of these life-saving tools. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another lesson. When you do that, you're not just subscribing, you're joining a family of older adults who are looking out for each other. Finally, I want you to think of one person in your life, a friend, a neighbor, or a family member who might need to hear this message. Share this video with them. You never know, your simple act of sharing could save them from heartbreak, stress, or financial loss. Stay safe, stay wise, and always remember this. Your kindness is a gift, and you have every right to protect it. I'll see you in the next video.